Hi, I'm Yannick Hanfman.
I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Dennis Kudla.
This is Sebastian Wolfner.
It's Marc-Andrea Whistler.
I am Francisco Cerundolo.
And you're listening to the
Game to That Podcast.
Hopefully you enjoy it.
Novak Djokovic comes in, he steals the title, he wins the 23rd Grand Slam. He's the first guy in history to win 23 Grand Slams.
Alcaraz is going to win Roland Garros this year. He wants to be the greatest player. He wants to emulate some of the big goats of the game. I think Iga's going to win Roland Garros and win it back to back. It doesn't happen often.
Iga Swiatek, who is going to be picking up her third, and in the men's, Daniel Medvedev.
Rude winning Roland Garros. Ostapenko is going to get her second Roland Garros title.
Carlos Alcaraz is going to win the men's side. Iga Swiatek is going to win on the women's.
Daniil Medvedev and Jessica Pegula will bring home the trophy this year.
Novak Djokovic clinching his 23rd. And then on the women's side, we're going for Ostapenko.
On the women's side, been on fire, has won titles on every surface. Her name is Elena Rybakina. And on the men's, Carlos Alcaraz will win his first French Open.
Novak Djokovic is the 2023 Roland Garros champion.
Hey, welcome back, tennis fans. It's the big one, the one we've all been waiting for. That's right, Djokovic Alcaraz. Before we had the draw preview, people were saying, which side of the draw are they going to be drawn in? Then we found out they're in the same side of the draw. And then we were just hoping the semi-final would happen. Well, guess what? Now it's here. And we are ready to go through all of the stats, all of the previous stats from their last meeting, and talk about who we want to win and take a place in that final, where this is the stronger side and expected winner could come out of this matchup. Isn't that right, JG?
Yeah, we are not overreacting today. This is by far the biggest match of 2023. We have the world number one versus the man who's trying to get back to world number one. He's been there more than anyone else. He's won 22 Grand Slams. He's trying to get to number 23 first and go one up on Rafael Nadal, who sadly couldn't be at this year's Roland Garros. This match has the making to be one of the greatest matches we've ever watched. And the only real disappointing part of it is that it's not going to be the final. I feel like this should be the final. They're the two best players, particularly on the clay court. So I don't want anyone saying Daniel Medvedev. Certainly these two are the number one and number two on clay right now. Rafael Nadal's not around. He's injured. So we have a young Carlos Alcaraz who is taking the Spanish flag and flying it very high because he's been playing some of the best tennis I've ever seen from him this tournament. Before a ball was hit, I predicted him to win Roland Garros. It's not the craziest thing in the world. He was the favourite. You went for Novak Djokovic. We're going to be going head-to-head for this match. And I cannot wait. Make sure to join us for the watch-along. If you're watching this tonight, then you know where to find us. Hit the bell, subscribe, like the video. If you're watching this live, the match commentary will be coming up very soon.
That's right. I cannot wait. And we're talking about world number ones and obviously Djokovic, the number 3 seed coming into this. If he wins Roland Garros, he will go back to world number one again. So all of those weeks at number one keep piling up for him. That's got to be another aim for him. But I'm sure the Roland Garros title will be the main thing. But he's not looking past his opponent, who is on fire. Probably the best thing to say, really, with this graphic on the screen. Carlos Alcaraz. I mean, I said it in my preview previous to this when I was just doing it on my own. I was sort of picking Novak Djokovic in this tournament because it's 5 sets. I know what he's all about. He's been there, done it, got the t-shirt. And Alcaraz, I was just sort of thinking maybe he wouldn't be quite as good as he is. And he's proved me completely wrong. He is incredible. Of quite clearly. He's destroying people left, right, and center on the clay courts of Roland Garros this year and making light work of top 10 opponents like Stefanos Tsitsipas, who he just seems to just have his number of. It's incredible. Djokovic has been incredible too, but it's been a very different style of tournament from both players. I think they've sort of gone through convincingly in their last matches, but I feel like Djokovic has maybe taken a little bit longer to get going. Alcaraz sort of just hit the ground running, has just been pulverizing people. Dropped that one set to Tara Daniel, but it's quite scary the way that Carlos Alcaraz is playing tennis right now. And if anybody's going to stop him, surely the only person right now who's actually in this tournament is Novak Djokovic.
Yes, let's talk Carlos Alcaraz. And I want to do a little piece at the beginning here. And that is talking about some of the matches he's played. Before we get into the tweets, one big saving grace for Novak Djokovic, despite him being one of the greatest players of all time and winning 22 Grand Slams, of course, that does help, is that he's got a two-handed backhand. That, of course, will help him massively. Carlos Alcaraz has a 95% winning record against players with a one-handed backhand. He hardly ever loses. This event puts that to show, beating Shapovalov, Musetti, and Tsitsipas in the last few matches. And let's be totally honest, all three of them were so one-sided. It looked like a professional player playing against you. I don't want to be too disrespectful, but they didn't have a chance. There was not one moment where I thought they was going to win the match. Tsitsipas had a bit of a spell in the third, but I think Alcaraz's level dropped. That's the only reason why that happened. Djokovic has a double-handed backhand. That's going to, of course, be very useful to him. He, of course, does have one of the best backhands in the world, if not the greatest ever. He's a brilliant returner. We don't even need to talk about Novak Djokovic as a tennis player. Everyone already knows he is arguably one of the greatest. I hate to say it, but so good. So he's going to be prepared for this challenge. But is he going to be prepared for a Carlos Alcaraz who's going to come out the traps very fast? Was it last year against Rafael Nadal? That was a quarterfinal. Was that all right?
Yes, that's right.
And Nadal come out very quick in that one as well. And Djokovic found it a little bit hard. He was always playing catch up from that moment on.
Yep.
My fear for Djokovic is we could see something similar with Alcaraz coming out very, very fast, hitting the ball extremely hard. Some of the forehand winners we've seen from Carlos, I know we both covered the Musetti match in full on the live watch-alongs. Them forehands were like a Nick Kyrgios smacking the ball in the hard courts. He was absolutely ripping the ball to shreds, and no one can get them back. If he's playing in that level, inspired, looking for the trophy, hungry, hitting lines, hitting hard, I don't care who you are, you're not going to get them back. And that is what makes this so exciting, because I feel that maybe Carlos Alcaraz has this match in his hands. I feel the destiny of this is monumental. He won a slam last year, being his first slam. We're looking at him coming into this one. He was the favourite before a ball was hit. And he's going to just be going in the same trajectory as some of these great players. He's so reminiscent of an early Federer who broke through. And I am really worried for Novak Djokovic, because if Alcaraz plays his best game, I don't think he stops him.
I mean, it's the big question of youth versus experience and the age, and obviously Djokovic being 16 years, is it, his elder, and not getting any younger. And that's the one thing that when he gets going, you can see he can go forever. But it's just that getting going that takes a little bit longer these days, I feel. And if you can't give, this is what I think, you can't give Carlos Alcaraz too much of a head start in this match. I feel that one set, maybe 2 sets. I don't think. I feel that if it goes 2 sets, I feel that Alcaraz in the third set may just think, right, I'm just going to go hell for leather in the third. I got nothing to lose now. I don't think he'll play start playing defensive, I think he'll just go even harder, just trying to get him out of there. So that's the scary thing for Djokovic, is you've got to get yourself on the board within the first couple of sets, I feel, because Alcaraz, well, this is a big moment for him as well. You've got to remember that nerves, he's not immune to nerves. He has shown that he can maybe throw away some leads in the past. Even against Tsitsipas, sort of threw away a 5-2 advantage, ended up being quite close in the end of that set, but he can come back, and it's his movement around the court which could be the key to victory against Novak Djokovic. The youth, the speed, the fact that he chases everything down. Doesn't matter if he's going to get there or not. He'll just chase it down just to show you that he's hungry and he's never going to stop running. That's
So sounds
scary.
like you've turned your head then. Are you supporting Alcaraz on this one?
I'm not, but I'm very, very aware
it
of the
sounds
threat.
like it. It's not too late. The match
I'm
hasn't
aware.
started yet. If you want to support Carlos Alcaraz, come and join us. Come and join us.
I'm aware of the threat. I'm scared of the threat. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell the truth. He scares me, and me wanting Djokovic to win this, I know that it's going to be such a hard match for Djokovic. But if anyone can do it, and if anybody can go to the distance, to the depths, to the trenches, it is Djokovic. And if he gets him into maybe deep into a fifth set, there's nobody more clutch with their serve, nobody more clutch with all of their tennis in big moments than Novak Djokovic. We've seen it at Wimbledon. We've seen it in so many slams where he just gets it over the line. When you think he's done and dusted, he just pulls it out the bag. So you never lose that mentality.
It's the best of 5 setup with Novak Djokovic. There's not many players better than him in that. So, of course, you're always going to be fearful. And even if Alcaraz takes the first 2 sets, it's not over. It's really not over. He does it to a lot of players. Let's not look too far ago when he won Roland Garros, defeating Tsitsipas, who was 2 sets up. Exactly. All it took was a bit of a wobble in the third, a very critical game, and he never looked back after that moment. Musetti as well, not too long. I know that wasn't a slam final, but still, he was 2 sets up, come back, winning 5. Djokovic has the ability to do that. On Alcaraz's side, I want to speak not just about his tennis, but also his mental fortitude. There's not many players of his age group who are as mentally strong as he is. And there's a quote after the match he played against Tsitsipas. And this is what he said. He said, since the draw came out, everyone was expecting that match, obviously referring to this one, the semi-final with Novak Djokovic. Myself as well. I really want to play that match. If you want to be the best, you have to beat the best, said Carlos Alcaraz. And there's 2 parts of that. He's even admitting, before a ball was hit, he was expecting to get to the semi-final, and he was expecting Novak Djokovic to be there. Some people would say that's arrogant. I don't find it arrogant. I think that is someone with a lot of self-confidence, belief in themselves, and that is what differentiates him from a lot of other young players, because he doesn't just play the tennis. He doesn't just do all these amazing drop shots. He backs it up. He can back it up. He believes in himself. He's got so much belief running through him. He wants to be a great player. He wants to be considered one of the greatest of all time. Someone so young like he is, he's talking like an experienced professional who's been on the tour for years and years and years. He was expecting to be in this semi-final against Novak Djokovic, and he wants to challenge himself because he believes when he plays his best tennis, he beats everyone. And I'm hoping the same thing happens here today.
I mean, confidence, it's not blind confidence. Let's put it that way. I mean, you can be confident, but when you play the style of tennis he's been playing in this tournament, would you not be confident going into the next? After you've just dismantled Lorenzo Musetti, who's been looking in probably the best form I've seen him at Roland Garros, and he absolutely destroyed him. There was not even a close match at all. And that's somebody who's beaten him in a final last year. So that's somebody who had one over on him before. He's storing all those things up there as well. And he's thinking, like, you're not going to get me this time. I'm going to take you out, and I'm going to do it in such emphatic fashion. You're going to question your own game now. Where do you have to make adjustments to get back to my level? His level's gone up since last year, And that was when he beat Djokovic in their only match, as we know. That was in Madrid. It was an epic match. I mean, it was over 3 hours long. I mean, let's just have a look at the actual summary of that match. This is it. 3 hours, 38 minutes. This was. I remember it well because I remember Liam covering it. We covered it just at the end as well. And what a close match, though. 2 tie breaks in there and a 7-5. And it went all the way to the wire in the final tie break, 7-5. So Djokovic pretty much as good as him that day, just slightly less, but an incredible match. I'm hoping we get that same level for
and
this.
It was pretty much a year ago today, give or take. I mean, another month on top. And I think Carlos has come on leaps and bounds since then.
Yeah.
I don't think Djokovic maybe is playing as well, but the last few matches certainly has upped his level. And I thought he ran away with that match against Hachanov when it mattered, and did something similar in the round before against, who was he playing before? Farias, was it?
Yes. I can bring up.
Well, that was just dominant. That was just so one-sided, that match. But yeah, like you said, went all the way to a tie break. If it goes tie break, however, this year, I don't fancy anyone but Novak Djokovic. He's got an absolute flawless record in tie breaks. I know there is a tweet.
There it is.
I don't know if you want to read it out because it's quite small on the phone.
Sure, no worries. Novak Djokovic tiebreak records at Roland Garros in 2023. 5 tiebreaks, 5 tiebreaks won, 35 points won out of 47, 13 winners, and 0 unforced errors. And that is in 5 whole tiebreaks with 47 points, which clutch is the word. And this is the thing that he brings. And this is the thing that I was sort of saying about when he goes deeper into a match, when the serve starts actually firing, he becomes sort of like a robot almost, with you just know what you're going to get. The serve is great. You know, he gets so many cheap points. He gets aces, he gets unreturnables. And he was actually conversing with his box a lot in that last match, trying to work out where he was going wrong, because Hachanov was playing really well. And he was just thinking, like, how do I unsettle him? And they said, well, pretty much it must have been because he was going like pointing to his box after he worked it out, which was go back in behind him. Sounds obvious, doesn't it? But he wasn't doing it much. He served. As soon as it came back, he went in back behind him nearly every time, and he won nearly every point after that. And the change of direction on clay, obviously, so difficult. So you end up sliding. He won from 4-all in the second set. He won 35 out of 36 points on serve. And had, I think it was 7 games to love, and then ended up with the second set where he won the tiebreak to love, and then he won the third set 6-2, and then he was up a break in that fourth set. So it was just literally from good serving, it changed the entire match. It's just madness how he can do that in just an instant. It just clicked just like that.
Yeah, with Djokovic, he seems like he's a player who relies on rhythm, and when the rhythm is there and everything's going right and he's feeling himself, he's feeling his serves, which is so important, it's difficult to win points against his serve, let alone break him. And that's what Carlos is going to have to try and do. If he wants to win the match, you've got to break your opponent. It's going to be very difficult if it goes all the way to a tie break, because look at this record. It's flawless. And I think a big part of it is when he gets to the tie breaks, what we find is he's finding first serves, he's getting unreturnable serves. If there's a rally, he's rallying to the very end, pulling off the spectacular, not giving up on any balls, and just playing tennis without making any unforced errors. Doesn't make an unforced error in a tie break. What's that? 0 unforced errors.
All the tie breaks.
Yeah, not a single one. So that just speaks volumes. A point in a tie break is worth so much more than any other point in the rest of the set. If you don't make any errors, you've got a really good shot of winning them, especially if you serve well.
Yeah. I don't know how you feel about it. I had like a view on the last match, and some people were disagreeing with me, like Gary was disagreeing with me in the live chat. I was just putting it out there that it could be possible. obviously Djokovic, he knows his age, he knows his body capabilities, he knows what potential injuries he may have now that we don't know about. There might be something that if he plays too hard, too early in a slam, he may aggravate something. And then this match against Alcaraz, he won't be able to perform at his top level. So playing someone like Khachanov or Valias or Fokina, I feel like sometimes I notice he's not really hitting the ball so hard. He just rallies. He's just trying to maneuver players around the court. He's not, for me, that's not 100%. That's he's playing with his food a little bit and just trying to work out how can I beat you in the easiest way for my body. But I don't mind going to 5 sets if I have to go 5 sets. But as long as I don't get injured in this match or tire my whole body out or ruin my body in this match, I'm happy to just rally with you and just play at 60, 70% as long as I beat you, because I know that I can outlast you. And I know that eventually your legs will get more tired than mine.
But you agree that won't work against Alcaraz?
No, that's why I think that he may have saved up a lot of energy. Like the energy bar at the start of the Roland Garros maybe goes down loads if you use up loads in those first rounds. It's like hitting hard, trying to wipe players off the court like Alcaraz does. I think if Djokovic tries that the whole first week, he might not have much energy left to take on Alcaraz in this, but maybe he saved it all up and now he will get to see 100% Djokovic in this match. It's a theory.
Well, yeah, mate, I can understand what you're saying. I mean, there's some logic to it, but yeah, let us know, guys. What do you think? Do you agree with what Ben has to say? You've almost sold me on it. Almost sold me. But let's go back to what you were talking about a second ago, and that was their previous encounter. We've got a tweet from the Big Three. So looking back to that 2022 Madrid, Djokovic won 49% of Alcaraz's second serve points. The difference was the final set, Alcaraz then hit 81% of first serves in and then won 74% of those points. So what was happening was Djokovic was really attacking the second serves of Alcaraz. From last year, I think his second serves have improved. I don't think they're as easy to attack as what they were. I think on this surface, it's a little bit different to the Madrid clay. It is a little bit more forgiving in the fact that it'll give you Alcaraz a little bit more time, which makes it a little bit more difficult to hit these big winners off his second serve.
Definitely.
So I'm not sure how relevant this is going to be to this match. It's a complete different year as well, and Alcaraz is a different player. He's come on so much since then. But I like the reason I like the tweet is because it showed there was a minor issue in that second set, and that is why Carlos Alcaraz lost it. He lost it 7-5 to Djokovic, extremely tight, and he was able to adjust in real time. And all of a sudden, he realised and put the emphasis on the fact that I am going to lose this match if I keep producing too many second serves. Turned it on its head and found loads of first serves in the third set. So if something isn't going right and he finds himself 2-1 down or 2 sets to love down, I think Alcaraz has the tools and ability to be able to mix it up and change something. He's a very, very intelligent player, and that's what I want people to take from this. Alcaraz is not going to just play one-dimensional tennis. If things aren't going right, maybe he'll just keep going back to the drop shots, or maybe he will start playing the ball a little bit softer. Or I'm not sure what he's going to do, but he will work it out in real time. He knows better than what I do on his tactics, and I like that about him.
Will this be battle of the drop shots in this match as well? Djokovic in his last match, 43 drop shots, which I think was a record for the last round of Roland Garros. So we know what Alcaraz is all about with those drop shots as well. He is unbelievable at them. So it could be who gets off first. We could see a lot of close encounters at the net and people getting hit by the ball maybe. We saw Iga get hit by the ball in a last match. Coco Gauff hit her with the ball at the net, but it can happen. Norrie hit Djokovic with the ball at the net as well.
I hit you with the ball in awareness.
That's it. Everybody's
straight
hitting
in the chest.
That's it.
I told you, don't try and drop shot me, Ben. I'm going to hit you in the chest, and that's what I did.
I didn't know where to go. I just took it. Just like a bullet in the chest. Didn't know what was going on. I was like, oh. I didn't tumble.
I didn't actually mean to hit you. I just tried to play it down the middle, and that's where you was, unfortunately.
As long as it didn't get me in the eye or something, that would have been worse.
It was a good chest, great control. Anyway, Declan Rice would be proud.
I'm sure he would. Oh.
Anyway.
Snuck it in there.
Snuck it in, yeah. For those who don't know, West Ham are champions of Europe. Just get that out there. But let's go back to Carlos Alcaraz's drop shots. I know you used to talk about drop shots for Djokovic and how amazing he's been. You said the leader. I don't know if he's got many more than this, though, because look, we've got Para +5. Don't even want to bring the tweet up saying Carlos has played 83 drop shots on the tournament. 10% of his points ended on a drop shot. And the ball has only come back 42% of the time. 48% of the time, the drop shot has been a point ender without him having to do anything else. That's pretty good. And listen, if you aren't someone who's a mathematical mind, you probably just see loads of percentages and think, oh, what's going on? It's too hard to even work out what's happening. The top and bottom of it is this kid is very good at drop shots. And a lot of the time, if he produces one, the opponent does not get the ball back. Tsitsipas doesn't even bother with them. He looks at them and thinks, I'm not going for that. He's like, Tsitsipas is like a dog in the sun. You throw the ball, the dog's a little bit tired, doesn't really fancy running it down. However, Djokovic, he's like a German Shepherd. And a German Shepherd, if anyone's got one at home, they love balls. They absolutely love footballs, tennis balls, whatever it is. You can throw a ball all day and they'll get it. Novak Djokovic, Rafael Nadal, these top players, they love it. They love a ball, just like a German Shepherd. They will hunt it down. And I know you were saying the other day watching Djokovic, he looked a bit old, running back. I think a player I forget who kept lobbing him. Was it Varias kept lobbing him? Someone was.
Yeah.
And Djokovic was running back to the baseline. And there was a bit like he looked a bit slow, stuck in the dirt, very laboured effort. However, he's still so much better than everyone else at tracking down balls, and I think he will be able to get to a lot more than the rest of the opponents Alcaraz has played. But still, he won't get to enough, and that's why he could come up and find himself in a little bit of trouble to the new Spanish king on the block.
Well, it's something it's maybe the Prince. It still is playing on in my mind that he's saving something from those. That's what I'm hoping anyway, that Djokovic, he hasn't been playing to his full, and that's why we haven't really seen. We've seen him sprinting to the net a few times and doing his traditional slide and angles and stuff like that. I feel that he's going to give it everything this match. There's not going to be a stone left unturned. He's going to be chasing down everything. Like those last matches, not to be disrespectful to his opponents, but he doesn't have to chase everything down. He probably knows he's going to have more opportunities. He's going to have a service game next. He's probably going to win to love, or he's always in that match. This one, it's worth chasing down every single ball. That's the thing with this match. You're going to have to win. Make them play another shot at all opportunities. And that's the one thing I'm hoping. He's saved every last piece of gas in the tank, and he's going to be going full pelt. I'm hoping from the off. I don't want to see super slow start. I want to see like Nadal, Djokovic in that epic match that we saw when it literally the first set was 1 hour 45 or something crazy like that. I want that level of where everyone said this is a different sport that we're watching. This isn't even normal. It was about 40 shot rallies. I want that Djokovic playing in this match.
Yeah, but what about if we get like a 6-hour match and both players are just they give their all? Casper Ruud demolishes Zverev in the other semi, and then Casper Ruud gets to the final against a limping Djokovic or Alcaraz,
wins
and blitzes them off the court in Casper Ruud style, taking opportunities when they're presented.
Could happen. That's the thing.
Casper Ruud, Roland Garros champion, after he demolishes Novak Djokovic in a quick 1 hour and a half.
The thing is, Casper Ruud would probably just be happy not to see Rafa there if he gets to. That's the main thing. If he sees Alcaraz, he'd be like, oh, but I don't want a Spanish player. Probably be happier with Djokovic, which is crazy to say.
Well, Alcaraz beat him, didn't he, in the US Open final?
Exactly. He doesn't want to face any more Spaniards in finals, so he'd probably take Djokovic over any Spanish person if he could help it. But careful what you wish for, because Djokovic will be going for number 23, so that would be probably just as hard, if not even more difficult. Be like a dog with a bone. You're not going to get that
I don't think
out
anyone
of his team.
says, "Oh, I hope I get Djokovic in the Grand Slam final."
Said no one ever.
Oh, who do you want in the final? Oh, I'll take Djokovic for an easier ride.
That's what Alcaraz was saying. I hope I get Djokovic in the semi. Nice, easy one.
All right, let's go to the next tweet.
That's it. Right. Let's just have a look at this one. This one, Juan Carlos Ferrero on Alcaraz and Djokovic saying, we know Novak is going to give absolutely his best. He's a 22-time slam champion. He's going to fight until the last ball. That's what we were just saying. We expect a really tough, close match. Carlos believes a lot in himself. He believes he can beat Novak.
Yeah, this is a good summary, really, of what we've been speaking about the last 5-10 minutes.
Yep.
He's got the self-belief. Djokovic is going to fight to the very end. So we know them two things are definitely going to happen. Who's going to win, we don't actually know. So if you are watching this right now live, let us know in the live chat. Who do you think is going to win? Smash that like button as well. And we will put some comments on the screen right now on who you are supporting in this semi-final, which feels like a final. But it's not the final because we've got Zverev, I almost said Runa then, not Runa, he went out. Rude in the other one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit lopsided, this draw. I feel that Rude's had it again, hasn't he? He had it last year and he's managed to get away with it. And Medvedev ruins the draw by winning Rome and taking the number 2 seed spot. I mean, how dare he do that?
He's just a troll. Medi's a troll.
Trolled everybody with that Rome win. That's all he wanted. He just wanted to ruin Roland Garros for everybody. That was all. Didn't want to have the 1-2 final. He wanted to be the 2. Right. Let's go to the next tweet, and we've got this one. This one's some advice for Novak Djokovic.
Is this advice you agree with?
I haven't read it yet, so let me read it. It says, to be honest, the best advice I could give Novak is to stay. No matter the result, even if Alcaraz leads to love, just stay in the moment. Try to win every point. You never know how quickly things can change. Fight to the end, Nole. We are with you.
Ooh. Yeah, I agree completely. I think that is what he needs to do.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs Joker Prime on Twitter to tell him what to do. I feel Djokovic knows exactly what's going on here. And I don't think he'll be phased. 2 sets down, 2 sets and a breakdown. I don't think he'll be phased. I think we'll get the same Djokovic. We may see some medical timeouts. We may see some potions in the crowd. We may see him go and have some toilet breaks. We may see him outburst with Ivanisevic, outbursts with the crowd.
Smash a racket.
Slower ball tosses. Taking longer to throw the ball up. We could see all of this from Novak Djokovic.
Warning.
Don't get me wrong.
Time violation.
But we know he's still going to fight to the very bitter end. And I'm sorry, but it's never over with Novak Djokovic. You can say that with Rafa as well. With them two, a match is never over.
Do we know the umpire for the match?
2 sets up, Alcaraz 5-1. Djokovic is in the match.
I'm interested to know.
You can't say that about everyone either, but Djokovic, Nadal, different breed. They're always in it. And while the ball's still being hit, the match is still on.
I am very interested to know who the umpire will be. Do you know? Are you interested?
What's that?
On who the umpire is going to be?
Not
for
really.
This match.
Not interested at all.
I'm interested because I don't really want it to be Mohammed.
Are you interested? The line judges are as well.
No, I just don't want it to be the guy who steals the shot. You know that he's always just making it. It's just like it's about him. And quite interesting that I was going to do. No, Mohamed Layani. I was going to do a YouTube video on him about how he just likes to be in the spotlight, and and it is a bit crazy because it was very funny because I was speaking to Dylan about this, and I was just saying like it's a bit crazy. He sort of ruined the match by pausing and giving Djokovic a time violation when he just read the score in Italian, and then that's when the time starts, and then he gave like a pause of about 5 seconds and then read it in English. And then Djokovic got a time violation because he said, "Oh no, I
Djokovic
start."
went up to him, didn't he? And was like, "What are you doing that for?"
He said, "Are you acting? Why are you acting?" He's like, "Just read the scores." It's like you don't need the
It's a
acting.
bit silly, but I've never heard anyone say, "Oh, I can't wait to see who the umpire's going to be."
No, but
we probably already know. You can probably find out online.
That's what I mean. Well, I'll have a look through.
Nobody cares, Ben.
I thought it was
Does it mean anything?
I thought it was interesting because when we were talking about the longest match in history, which we know, obviously John Isner, Nicholas Mahut at Wimbledon, I typed in longest match in tennis history, and there's a picture of those two, and guess who stood right next to him? Mohamed Layani, getting his face in the picture of the longest tennis match in history as well. So he's umpiring that one as well. Look at him, gets his face in everywhere. Just trying to be a celebrity, umpire celebrity.
I think it's in your head a little bit.
I don't know. I think that it's a thing.
I didn't like what he did against Djokovic that day. I agree with that, but I feel you've just got a bit of a vendetta against umpires at the moment.
Maybe I've got a vendetta against umpires that are mean to Djokovic. I don't know.
Ooh, conspiracy.
That's it. But I did think I thought it was just coincidental that he just appeared in the biggest match in tennis history. He's there in the photo next to. He didn't need to be in the photo with Isner and Mahut. Why is he in there?
No, he would be, mate. I think that's normal. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
I don't know. Seemed a
He was the umpire for it. He'll be recognised.
Probably wasn't. Probably just snuck in.
Listen, after the Grand Slam final, they'll be there as well, picking up a medal.
Great. Do they get a ceremony as well? Right. Let's move on to the next tweet. That's enough of that. What's this one? We had the Djokovic tie breaks one. This one, Djokovic talking to the media. This one is, and it's from a good friend, Pavi G. Never controversial, saying a slam semi-final in a big event and a big match, and I will be ready for possibly the longest match of the tournament. I'm going to fight until the last drop of sweat and the last ounce of energy, as I see this is a big chance to win the trophy here.
Yeah, just to clarify, Ben, that's not Pavi G saying that. That is in fact Djokovic.
Sure? Are you sure it's not Pavi G? I thought it might be for one of his paddle matches. But anyway.
No, it's not Pavi. But yeah, we know we're going to get that from Djokovic. We know he's going to fight to the end. I think we've gone through this to the death. The question is his fight going to be enough?
Well,
some of the shots we've seen from Alcaraz this tournament, you can have as much fight as you want. You're not going to get to the ball.
Yeah, it's scary. That's
you can
the thing.
fight to try and get there, but you just have to watch it flash past you because he hits the ball so hard into the corners. It's going to be very tough. And then if you get a bit deeper on the baseline, all of a sudden you start drop shotting you. Or then you start coming in, and then what's he going to do? Start lobbing you or passing you or creating crazy angles. He's got every shot in the book.
Or
he's
you lob him.
Unplayable. Carlos Alcaraz, when he's on, nobody can stop him.
Or
Incredible.
You lob him. Or you lob him and then he runs back and he does some crazy like back flick like past you at the net or tweener.
Carlos Alcaraz at Roland Garros this year is like Declan Rice playing in Europe.
Oh God, here we go again. Right, I'm going on to the next tweet. This one was a good one from Gil Gross.
Unplayable.
Right, Alcaraz Djokovic in the semi-final on Friday is amongst the most highly anticipated matches I can ever remember. The historic weight of this 23rd major, scarcity of not having seen a matchup in over a year, intersection of generations, winners of the last two majors. It's got it all. You're right,
yeah, that's
Gil.
a good one because you often forget that they're the winners of the last two majors. There's two guys on tour at the moment who we want to see play more tennis matches. We've
Winners
been
of the last
deprived really of it because it's only happened once. And I don't know, it just wasn't enough. Like after watching it, we was all thinking, we need more. We need to see the next one. And I thought it would come around a little bit sooner, but they seem to keep missing each other in draws on. They've not entered the same tournaments. One's had an injury when the other's not. And then, of course, we had Djokovic not allowed to play a lot of events.
Yeah.
Alcaraz was playing them ones and he missed a few. It's just they just keep missing paths. But
Yeah.
I'd expect them the next 2 years or so to play a lot more matches than what we've seen, just sort of one a year. You'd expect maybe 2 or 3 a year, hopefully. Because you can see them if they're playing events, they'll both get to the latter stages and they'll meet eventually. And I think it is going to be an absolutely fantastic match, and I can't wait to see how it plays out. The big thing with it being the weight of the 23rd major, Djokovic, when he was going for the calendar slam, he lost to Daniel Medvedev, and I felt a large part of that was, of course, fatigue as well, but it was the pressure of knowing that he is one game away. Is he going to feel some similar pressure knowing he will be the overall leader of Grand Slams? Remember, Novak Djokovic has never been the overall leader of the Grand Slam race.
Yep.
Say he's, I don't know, in the 5th set, up a break, or gets a match point, championship point, or when he gets really close to it, maybe serving out for the match, will that then start becoming real? And will Carlos Alcaraz just take it all in and do what Mukova did to Sabalenka?
Well, that's the scary thing, isn't it? Like the one chance that he had to get to 21 first was the US Open, where he got beaten in straight sets by Daniel Medvedev.
Exactly.
This one,
and the calendar slam as well.
Yeah, and this one's the first opportunity to go. Well, the next opportunity to go ahead in the slam race. I don't want to see another straight sets loss. Please, Djokovic, don't do that. This one's the semi-final. It's slightly different. It's not the final. That one was literally 1 match away. This one, it's still 2 matches away. So,
it's not though, Ben.
But you feel like he just beats whoever is the other side easily.
Well, not easily, but it's the final before the final. This is the big one.
It is the big one.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be too disrespectful. We've seen Zverev in a Grand Slam final before. It wasn't pretty. We've seen Ruud twice in Grand Slam finals now. Wasn't pretty either of them. Granted, he played Alcaraz and Nadal. Zverev played team and just threw it away.
Yeah.
I think if we get Zverev in a final, he's not going to get close to either of them. I think if we get Casper Ruud, he could come a little bit closer against Djokovic than what he would do Alcaraz. But all in all, the win. I'm sorry, but whoever wins this match wins Roland Garros. Some people are going to say, "Oh, yeah, you're being too dismissive of Ruud and Zverev." Well, this is my opinion. That's why I'm saying it. You've been entitled to your one.
I think it's
a
common opinion.
Listen to it. But my opinion is this is the final before the final, and I think if you don't agree with that, you need to give your head a woggle.
That's it. We'll give it a woggle. Can we give Gill's head a woggle? Because he said the winners of the last 2 majors, actually the winner of the last 3. He's ruling out Wimbledon there, Djokovic as well. So,
all right, you tell him that.
That's it. I'll teach Gil on the stats. he hasn't got stats on me. Yeah, I'm sure Gil would crush me in a tennis trivia quiz. I'm sure. I don't even know when Djokovic wins Roland Garros. So
you didn't even know the furthest Ben was at Roland Garros.
I know that was shame. That's the shameful one.
I said, what Ben's got furthest at Roland Garros? You said Benjamin Hassan, didn't you?
Apparently there was a Benjamin Becker that you missed.
Was there?
Apparently in the comments, everyone was saying Benjamin Becker.
Yeah, well, he didn't get as far as Bonzi, so.
I have to double check that one. Fact check. Right, let's just have a look. We got some weather reports. I know that this is one of your favourites. Looking into being British, weather comes first. So the weather report in Paris at the time of the match set to be the highest of the tournament so far. Oh my word, this is like my worst nightmare. If I got all the way to a slam final, imagine it was like fairly normal weather conditions, and then I saw this weather report for the final, I would be crying the night before. I'll be like, please get me some clouds, please get me something. I'll be like Cam Norrie, just like fully like sun creamed up the whole face. Yeah.
Unbelievable, yeah. We're going to be getting the final. It's going to be the hottest day of the tournament, reaching 30 degrees.
Semi-final.
I don't know why it's so hot. Must be Jared Bowen heading over to Paris. We know he's on fire, so maybe that's why Paris is so hot.
You're going to make an appearance on the court to bring out. Is he going to be one of the people who brings out the players? Or does photos next to the net with the players at the start.
What this means, Ben, in tennis terms, is the courts will be more lively, which slightly favours Djokovic, but whoever adapts to the conditions and play their best will win. Do you think a lively tennis court will favour Djokovic more than Alcaraz?
I just don't think it's going to matter. I feel that these conditions are all just null and void. These are two amazing top tennis players. And
I can understand what you're saying, but surely the conditions will favour one or the other, no?
I feel like it's just whoever adapts at that moment. I feel that both of them can adapt to anything.
Okay, but a livelier condition, who's it going to favour? Djokovic on the or not Nadal, Alcaraz?
Probably Nadal if he was there. But in this one, I've got, I don't know, Djokovic's serve, but then I think Alcaraz's ground shots. Which one would you rather be favouring out of those two? So I feel that they both have an advantage. So maybe Alcaraz it favours.
I've never heard that. Both have an advantage.
Well, in a certain area of the
both
game.
have an advantage.
Well, in a certain area, but if he messes up his serve, it's not an advantage. If Alcaraz hits all the shots long or in the net, then it's definitely not an advantage.
Well, if he does that, he'll lose, Ben.
If he does that, everyone's
honestly, you've got some really great ideas and opinions.
Highly disappointed if that happens.
Breaking news: if Alcaraz loses 3 sets, he will not be winning this year's Roland Garros. Ben's confirmed it live on the podcast.
Well, if he retires, he doesn't have to. So there's always that as well. Throw that one out there. That's an official.
Let's move on from the Paris weather.
We don't want any more. We don't want any retirements.
But I do agree with you, joking aside. I don't think it's going to play too much of a factor.
No chance.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to come down to weather, this one.
I think we've gone through most of the. I think we've gone through all of the ones that you sent over. Let's just have a. Do you want to have a quick look at their route through as well? Obviously, we've spoken about who tested them the most, and we've spoken about the easy sort of matches. I would say.
Well, I'm happy I've done the Alcaraz one at the start, so maybe this is your opportunity to go through Djokovic's route and just speak about that, and then we'll wrap it up with our predictions.
That's it. I thought it was quite funny that I remember covering this Kovacevic match at the start, and then that became a little bit farcical. We ended up joking quite a lot on that one, just saying that, oh, he's an amazing clay court player. How's Djokovic beating him? But he's barely won a match on clay. It was the perfect opening match for Djokovic. He didn't even have to do anything. He just beat him with ease. And the poor guy down the other end, he was just happy to probably be there, just meet Djokovic for a bit. He's a part Serbian as well. So, yeah.
What was his idol growing up?
That's it. Fucsovic as well. I mean, walk in the park. Somebody criticised Djokovic, I think, in the past during the vaccine stuff. So
he's on the list. He's on the Djokovic list with Charlie, Monfils, all the losers who can't get anywhere near him.
5-0 now.
And let me just clarify, because I know some people are going to get triggered with that comment. I don't mean losers in general. I mean losers when it comes to playing Djokovic.
Yeah, just never won a match against him. So Fokina was actually the match in this tournament that I feel that Djokovic has had to play the hardest of this whole tournament.
Yeah.
He's actually been pushed, and he's actually tried to
Good
go
match,
fire.
Fokina played very well. Fair play to him.
He actually had to hit hard in rallies to keep in with Fokina, and that's credit to Fokina. He's a bit unpredictable, but he can rally like the best of them. That was a tough match. It looked one-sided, 3-love. It was really close. The two tie breaks and then an easy third set. But I think that was what actually helped him into getting more into form. I think Fokina, yeah, for sure. And then Varillas wasn't even competitive. Varillas, unfortunately, just not at that level. He played too many. He played 15 sets before coming in to play Djokovic. So it's just ridiculous. Just didn't really have a chance, did he? Playing against like one of the best players.
Well, it's sad because he's a challenger king. And I actually was hoping for a little bit better.
Fourth round as well. He gets to a fourth round, but he
did well, Varillas. Don't diss him, Ben. Move on.
To play 15 sets, I mean, some players win Grand Slams playing. Can they win it playing 15 sets? Probably not. No, you have to win more than that. But anyway, you could get close. You could get close. You could get close. I'm sure. Khachanov, Actually
Just
played
quickly,
fantastic.
listen to all these dodgy Ben's opinions and just realise he's supporting Djokovic in this one. Let me not say any more.
Khachanov actually played really well in the first set. He's proved time and again that he can take sets from big players. Did it against Rafael Nadal at the Australian Open in the year that he won it. And he always looks good for a set and maybe even half a set after that. But these best players, they sort of work him out. They work out that he's not going to last the distance against them. If they just keep him in the rallies and then start playing their game, yeah, he wears down.
He's got better in Grand Slams. He's been one of the most consistent Grand Slam players in the last 2 years. So, a bit like Carreño Busta when he went for a spell doing it at the US Open. But I just see Khachanov being a bit like a Busta. I don't think he'll win a slam. He'll just get there or thereabouts for a few years and then fade into the distance.
Yeah, I mean, he might have a chance at Wimbledon. Obviously, he's been to quarterfinal there before.
Yeah. I think he has played last year, so I think he's a good player. He's a good player on all the surfaces, and don't say too much bad about him because I have done in the past, and I think I was wrong about some of the things I said because he's turned a corner, and I think he's played some really good tennis, and yeah, can't diss him. Top 10 player, Karen Khachanov.
That's right. Khachanov, he's top 10 now, probably, is he? I know he's number 11 coming in.
He is in my eyes, though. He's a top 10 player.
Felix out, I think, now, isn't he? So I think Felix out, Khachanov in, which I think based upon Grand Slam form, should be. Yeah, definitely. Andre Rublev, watch your back. Khachanov's coming. He's going to try and take that spot off of you. Not going to be number one. Obviously, Medvedev's the number one Russian, but Rublev not far behind.
It was Karatsev.
Yeah, didn't have the tournament I was hoping for, sadly. Maybe if he hadn't have had to qualify, he might have done a bit better. I don't know. But it just was what it was.
He likes it qualifying. He got to the semi-finals of the Australian Open from qualifying.
Exactly. Look at Offner. Got to the fourth round after qualifying. See, sometimes qualifying is a good thing. Plays you into form a bit.
Right. Let's get back to the graphic anyway, because it is time to do our predictions. This is the big moment. We've got the flames. We've got the thumbnail. We've got Carlos Alcaraz, world number one, against Novak Djokovic, going for history, going for his 23rd Grand Slam, and also number one status as well if he can win Roland Garros. It's massive. It is a difficult match to predict because I think both players have shown in the past, in their last meeting, there was nothing between them. I think Alcaraz has improved a lot since then. I think he's been the best player at this Roland Garros. And I think Rafael Nadal was sitting on a yacht, probably smiling to himself, thinking, you know what? I'm very, very proud of this young Spaniard. He is doing amazing. He's going to be cheering on Carlos Alcaraz. I certainly will be cheering on Carlos Alcaraz from my bus in Poland. Crazy things you do as a West Ham fan. But I think Carlos Alcaraz is going to win this match. He's going to win this match. I'm going to be cheering to protect 23. And I think he's going to win in 4 sets. I don't think it's going to go to 5. I think it's going to be done in 4. And I think it's going to go 1 set all. And Alcaraz to take the second and the third and the 4th set. The 4th set will be a tiebreak. And he'll beat Djokovic's tiebreak record of not losing the tiebreak. He'll lose his first tiebreak in the 4th set. And everyone's going to be looking at that 4th set thinking, oh, it's about to go to 5. Djokovic has never lost a tiebreak. You're going to be on the stream going, oh, look at the stats. He's never lost any tiebreaks. Oh, he's definitely going to win. My prediction, 7-4 Djokovic. And then what's going to happen is Carlos Alcaraz is going to beat him in the tiebreak 10-8. Let me rephrase that. 9-7. I'm bringing it down to 1. 9-7. Carlos Alcaraz. No, 9-7. 4th set. Carlos Alcaraz. He's going to be in the final. Come on. Vamos.
Okay. So Alcaraz in 4.
I've been quite precise as well. Hopefully you can be similar.
I was already, but I will do it again. I hope
you not changed your mind? Usually it blows with the wind.
Nah, I'm gonna stick with it. Stick with it. Stick with it. That's what you got to do. Stick to your guns. And sticking with my Djokovic prediction, I am going for Djokovic in 5 sets, 5 grueling sets. Probably every set will take an hour, knowing what these two are like. I think that Djokovic will lose the first set. I feel that the second set he will win on a tie break, I think. And then the third set, I think Djokovic will also win. Alcaraz will then come back. He'll fight to get back into it, and he will make it 2 sets apiece. And we'll go into the final set shootout. And Djokovic will just, I can't remember what I said in my preview, but I think he'll just outlast him in this one. He'll just get one break at some point in the latter stages of that set, and we'll take it. But it will be nip and tuck. I don't expect there to be all holds of serve. There may be a break of serve on either man's side before we get to that final break of serve, though. So I think it's going to be an interesting, leggy affair in that fifth set. It's about who can outlast the other. Battle of attrition. Probably about 4 hours 45 on the clock, and then we'll finally get the match point, and then it'll be done.
And then it doesn't matter anyway, because Casper Ruud's going to sweep both of them in the final straight sets.
That's it. Casper Ruud wins.
No, joking aside, Vamos Carlitos. He was my pick before a ball was hit, and I'm sticking with him. I've been so impressed. Outstanding tennis player. One for the future. But do let us know in the live chat right now, who are you supporting? Do you think Carlos Alcaraz can win his second Grand Slam? Or do you think Novak Djokovic is going to make history with 23? Let us know right now. We are going to be doing the play-by-play for the match. So don't go anywhere. Make sure, if you're excited like me and Ben are, hit that like button right now. Hit the subscribe button as well. And we're going to be bringing you all of the action. Take a deep breath. Not long left to go now. Please. Come on, Carlos Alcaraz. Do it for me.
Yeah, well, we will wait and see. It is not long to go. The countdown is on. I know we had the countdown to Roland Garros, but now we have the countdown for the biggest match of Roland Garros. It's nearly upon us, everybody. Do not go anywhere. Do not adjust your TV screens or your computer screens or your phone screens. Just stick with Game to Love, and we're going to take you through the entire semi-final. Irimo. Nole.
Vamos! Press the countdown button.